Systematically, I think this game is better than Mortal Kombat X, but this game has some things that are very, very bad in my opinion. The worst thing in this game is, in my opinion, the roll system. I really do not like the roll system. Like, I think in hindsight, like I like what they were trying to go for, but that shit is just weird, man. I just really hate the inputs of the roll. Hitboxes are really bad in this game. I won't say really bad because I feel like that's harsh. Hitboxes can be really tough in this game. It just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like sometimes, like, especially me. I play Jade. She uses a fucking staff. Like, she should have some of the best, like, in terms of like just like normal damage range. Like, her shit should be fucking amazing. But there's consistently times where I'm like uppercutting and it just doesn't hit, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm talking about all the negatives first. Let's get the negatives out of the way. I feel like some of the crush and blow requirements are very inconsistent. Like, some characters have like really easy like crush and blow requirements. Then there's some that have like very, very situational crush and blow requirements that, like, it's like the odds of this happening are very, 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 very low. So it's like, it makes some crush and blows seem really, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with the release of this game. I think this game had a better release than Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat X had a really bad release. I don't know if y'all remember, but this shit was not working at all. I wasn't working at all on PC, and the netcode was fucking awful for Mortal Kombat X. It was rough. I don't know if people remember that, but it was really bad. Yeah, Mortal Kombat X had a pretty shitty like, in terms of just releases, it was pretty bad. But to be fair, most fighting games have really shitty releases. Like, most fighting games start off with like netcode. It's always something with fighting games that, like, they start off rough. While I'm sitting here talking, I can be doing AI battles. It just Mortal Kombat 11 had the biggest issue with Mortal Kombat's release is the shit was really grindy. And my issue wasn't with the grind aspect. Like, I'm cool. Like, I can grind games. I've played MMOs. Like, I'm cool with grinding. But the inconsistency with what I was rewarded with versus the effort I was putting into grind was just kind of ridiculous. And it was just like, it's not really worth me like grinding this hard for what I'm like getting out of it. Like, I can grind hard as fuck, and then I get like a random piece of gears, and the only thing that was like certain was like the heart boxes. But if you remember, like, on startup, like, it was really hard to get hearts. Dragon Ball Fighters did not have a great start either. Dragon Ball Fighters had heavy like netcode issues when it first started, and those lasted for a while. So I think Dragon Ball Fighters has like one of the better fighting game starts, but it still like suffered from like those like same issues that like a lot of fighting games suffer from, which is netcode issues. On start, I wanted a better level reward system. I thought the level reward system was really bad. Did they really fix it? No. They it was like putting a band-aid on like a big ass leak. And it was just I still don't like the progression system in this game. I just don't like if you're gonna make me grind, let me work towards like something I want in terms of a grind. Like, I don't want to grind and for the system to be what's up, Ace? And then for the system to be like random. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if I'm putting all this effort, I want what I'm putting all this effort for to be like something I know that I'm putting in effort for. Like, if I want a Night Wolf skin and I have to grind for it, that's cool. But if I'm grinding for something that I don't even know that I'm grinding for, and it's kind of So that was one of the issues I had with this game. I like this roster. I thought this was a pretty solid starting roster. And if you know me, like, one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters is not in this game. Actually, two of my favorite characters are not in this game, which are Reptile and Melina. But I think this roster is a lot better than Mortal Kombat X. I was not a huge fan of Mortal Kombat X's roster. I understand like they needed to introduce new characters, but it just felt like a lot of like the mainstay characters kind of got like pushed to the side for like Leatherface, which was weird. So it was just I just think this game like has a way better roster. And this game made me care about characters I didn't like normally care about. Like I fucking hate Night Wolf. And like Mortal Kombat 9, I fucking despise playing Night Wolf. I despise playing against Night Wolf. I just did not like fucking Night Wolf as a character. So when I saw him in like as DLC, I just was not excited. But guys, so far, Night Wolf is my favorite character to play in this game. He feels much more like a Mortal Kombat X character. It feels like he moves a lot faster to me. He just is fun. And he's the first character in this game where I was like, wow, this character is like super duper fun. Shang Tsung was fun, but like once you started to really play Shang Tsung, his playstyle just started to not fit what I like to do. And I play Jade, and Jade's playstyle doesn't really fit what I like to do. Night Wolf is kind of like me. So this game has made me care about characters I just never cared about. I didn't give a fuck about Jackie in Mortal Kombat X. She is way better in this game. I've never cared about fucking Liu Kang. Liu Kang is kind of cool in this game. I still fucking hate Scorpion. That will never change. The story for this game is okay. I put it on the same level as Mortal Kombat X's story. Like, I just think they're like okay stories. This story had a purpose. It was kind of like to reset the story. Am I a huge fan of the ending? No. I forgot to put it on AI. I'm not a huge fan of the ending, but I understand the ending. Like, they kind of like wrote themselves in a hole. They kept killing off characters. Like, a lot of the characters people wanted in the game are dead and shit like that. So they kind of needed a big ass reset. Now Mortal Kombat is in a state where like they can do whatever the fuck they want to. Like, they can just do whatever. So I think that's good for the next Mortal Kombat game, for Mortal Kombat 12. Like, now they're at the point where they can literally do anything. If they just want to go back to like doing the tournament, that's cool. If they want to like talk about more of these gods, they can do that. But now they're not in the writer's hole where it kind of feels like they're in a set story. Like the game, like the last couple of games have ended off cliffhangers, and like this one kind of ends like definitively. So, story wise, it was just okay. Another issue that's not really with the game, but with communication. It seems like Warner Bros. Like had more of a hand in this game than they did in Mortal Kombat X. Like, it kind of felt like NetherRealm was more transparent with people when it came to like Mortal Kombat X. Like, we were constantly updated about DLC. Like, Ed was always talking about stuff on Twitter. Like, we were constantly in the loop of what they were doing. Like, if a character was like coming, like we knew the date they were coming. Like, I think by this time, like, we had all the DLC characters for Mortal Kombat X. And like, the problem isn't that they aren't releasing DLC fast enough. The problem is that they're not really communicating with the fans. Like, you just can't go completely dark on like the game and not say anything and not mention anything. Was it rushed for DLC? I don't believe so. I felt like it was a normal DLC cycle. Like, there was nothing really wrong with the DLC characters, but you could argue that it was rushed, but that's not really the argument I'm trying to make. The argument I'm trying to make is like transparency. Like, it just feels like they weren't communicating like as actively as they were with Mortal Kombat X. And I think that like falls apart with like, I feel like Warner Bros are kind of like more have a hand in it at this moment than they did it with Mortal Kombat X. Here's the thing. I don't have any issue waiting for like DLC. I think people like forget like back in the day, like if you want a DLC, bitch, you gotta wait for another fucking game to come out. Like, if you think all the Street Fighter 2s and Street Fighter 3s, the new games were basically just fucking DLC packs. But like, you literally just had to wait for them to release a new iteration of the game. Like, did they release who's cast as Mileena for the movie? I don't know. The only thing I saw about the movie was they cast Liu Kang and Sub-Zero, and that dude's voice sucks in this game. And like I said, I don't mind waiting. Like, I don't care about waiting, but I would prefer they've done it now, but before they weren't really doing it. I would prefer them to come out and be like, hey guys, like, we're taking our time with the DLC. Like, I know everybody really wants the DLC, but please be patient with us. We're working as hard as we can to get the DLC out. Blah blah blah. And they say, cool, that's fine. But you can't just kind of go like dark and not say anything. And like I said, I just feel like Warner Bros has more of a hand in this game because let's be real, like, Mortal Kombat sells hell of a lot. So far, I don't know if you guys know, but so far in 2019, the top selling video game is Mortal Kombat 11, a fighting game. So far this year, it's the top selling video game in general. Mortal Kombat makes a shit ton of money. And I was telling people before, like, one of the reasons I think Mortal Kombat is always going to be around, because it sells really fucking well with the casual audience. And I was telling people, like, whenever I talk about Street Fighter 5, that was the biggest problem with Street Fighter 5 upon release. Like, it just wasn't like captivating enough for like a casual audience. And like, MK has always been captivating to the casual audience because it's accessible as fuck. People love violence. Like, they love like fatalities and shit. So sales wise, Mortal Kombat always does like really fucking good. And yeah, it's doing good on Switch too. So it sells. It sells fucking well. So if you're Warner Brothers and you see that Mortal Kombat is making hella money, then as a company, you're gonna kind of, I want to get in. I want to stick my fucking toes in the water to make sure like that my moneymaker is doing what my moneymaker should, and like giving my input now, because now they're making money. Now Warner Brothers like, oh, you're making money. We give a fuck about your game. We care. We care because you're making us money. So we're gonna make sure that we're a part of this too. So yeah. So my consensus with this game is 4 months later, I still like it. Obviously it has some issues. The hitboxes are still really weird. I want to see when they release, obviously we're going to get like an XL version of this game down the line. I would like to see some like adjustments to like mechanical things. Like, I would like to see a different input for the role. I like this game a lot. Yes, it definitely has like glaring issues. And like, I think it's in a better state now after the patch than it was before. Because I just kind of feel like some characters were like purposely bad. This game has a lot of flaws, but I think it's a very solid fighting game. I like it. I know a lot of people don't like Mortal. I think this kind of split with the community whether they like this and Mortal Kombat X more. I personally like Mortal Kombat X more, but this game is good. This game is always gonna hold like a special place for me personally, because of like everything surrounded it. Like if you don't like Mortal Kombat has been like my favorite fighting game for like my entire fucking life. Y'all see Greg, if you be here a lot, Greg is always, well, he's not always, but sometimes I have Greg in here, and me and Greg basically grew up together. Like, I've known Greg since I was like 7 or 6. I am 23 years old. That is a long time for me to fucking know Greg. And I used to stay over at Greg's house like literally every weekend when we were kids. And all me and him would really do is play Mortal Kombat. Like, me and Greg play so much fucking Mortal Kombat, it was ridiculous. A lot. And it has always been like our favorite fighting game. It's kind of like just something like we do together. Like, and one of the biggest things was for me to be like fucking a part of the reveal. I was fucking dumbfounded that happened. That shit hit me deep, because I was just like, dude, this is like some game I've just been playing my entire life, and for me to get older and to somehow, some way be a part of like the reveal of a fucking new game is fucking, and for them to like contact me, I was just like, what the fuck? And just for me to get to play the game early, for them to personally just like email me and invite me to the reveal, I was just like, I was fucking mind blown. I was like, y'all want my ignorant ass up there? And this is why this game personally is always gonna have a special place for me, only because like a lot of things surrounding it. Like, I just had like a really good experience, and shit, it just felt good.